We all know that the government shutdown is stopping the SNAP benefits from going through, so people won't have their EBT come November 1st. Some of us also know that they have billions of dollars in reserves that they could pay out the SNAP benefits while the government is shut down. That's what reserves are for. Now, not only that, the government workers, these aren't people that are just, you know what I'm saying, not working and they lazy and they need to get a job. The government workers can't go to work. They're not getting paid. So they've been going to food banks, right? Donald Trump figures that out. And he sees that people that's on EBT not going to be getting their benefits. And they probably going to be the ones in them food banks. And the food bank lines are around the corner right now. So what does he do? He says, stop the food banks too. Our president, the United States President of America, is now treating our citizens like Israel treated Palestinians, starving them and denying food. While that dumbass evil lady was on here eating toast, I just don't understand how anybody could still be MAGA. Like, I think y'all are soulless creatures. I keep on telling y'all, some of these people aren't humans. They came from Neanderthals. They're soulless creatures.
So they finalized that come November 1st, they're taking food off Americans' mouths. Watch these videos anyways, then I'll come back with what I want to say, right? Please keep watching these videos.
This isn't going to be nice, nor is it going to be pleasant. I'm pissed the fuck off. They are about to start starving American families so that they can protect pedos on the list. November 1st, SNAP benefits in a fuck ton of states are about to expire. And that's like 40 plus million Americans that rely on that for food. They are about to start starving American citizens so that they can keep the government shut down, so that they can prevent a vote to release the list. We are severely fucking underreacting here. We are not angry enough. We should be out in the fucking streets. Republican voters, I need you to listen to me. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care what your religion is. You deserve to eat. You deserve to have health insurance and be able to afford your medications and have a government that functions and is open and working, because that is your right as a tax-paying American citizen. What the fuck are we letting them do right now? 40 million Americans are about to lose access to food because they don't want you to know that our president was hanging out with a kid diddler and actually is probably one himself.
You need to start seeing lack of access to resource as a type of violence. Intentionally cutting off access to food for 40 million Americans is violence, and people will die. There will be more theft of things like groceries and basic necessities. And I want you to follow the same adage that I would tell anyone else. If it's a chain, it's free reign. When they use terms like subsidies to give companies billions of dollars in taxes, but intentionally use the word welfare for humans that actually need it, that is violence. Economics that treat people as externalities that can be lost or gained instead of human beings is violence.
I was just having a conversation with somebody about the upcoming SNAP and WIC benefits getting cut for the month of November, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you live under a very privileged rock. Anyway, this person asked, do you really want your tax dollars going to feed people who can't afford food? Yeah, no, that's exactly what I want, actually. Like, I think, personally, everybody deserves to eat, and I'm just a little bit confused how the same party who is forcing all of these babies to be born, these super cute babies deserve to live, but then they don't want to feed them. And they don't want to house them, and they don't want to give them health care. So then they're going to die anyway. They're going to die. Children are going to starve to death. And you're asking me if I think they deserve to eat. Personally, I think if you don't believe every person on the planet deserves food, you're an evil person. An evil, evil person. So I'm going to go feed my baby because I can afford it. And then I'm going to go buy food for another person's baby because they can't afford it. And if you aren't doing that, whenever you have the means to do that, you are a terrible person. Anyway, I'm not going to talk to that person anymore. Have a good day.
You deserve to be poor and starve, according to American Christians. Why do you think we're seeing so many of those videos celebrating people losing their SNAP benefits on November 1st? It's because American evangelical Christians believe in a concept called the deserving poor versus the undeserving poor, and they see people as deserving what they get. Well, you're a single mother. That should have never happened. You deserve to suffer and starve, and so do your children. You should have been married. You're disabled? Well, I mean, why should the government take care of you? You're not useful to society anyway, so we don't want you around. And this concept has been around since at least the Middle Ages. Whether it be the king or government in charge or the church, they would decide and set rules around who deserves to be poor and how they should be treated. Not well, guys. And who doesn't? Who's the undeserving poor? Say, oh, the widow of a soldier. Oh, well, they were fighting for the king and we should help them for a short time until she marries again to find a father for her children, because that's what they believe. It's only for a short time. And that's what we see playing out right here in the United States. That's why so many Christians are celebrating people losing food, not being able to feed their children because they don't believe they should have those children. Therefore, they believe they should suffer. How very Jesus-y of them. Is that what Jesus would do, guys? You tell me.
I need y'all to be paying attention to what's going on in our country right now. So we are in the midst of a government shutdown. There's the threat of people not being able to receive food benefits come November. And a lot of people are making a joke of this and saying, oh, people need to get jobs if they're on food stamps. A lot of people who receive food assistance do have jobs. And this is not just going to hurt the people and the kids that won't be eating. It will be hurting the disabled, the elderly, the businesses that those food stamps support, the farmers. So this will be a negative domino effect. And when I'm talking to my people and people are like, how do we get here? My only question is, did you vote? Elections. An elected official, somebody who was elected to a seat, made this decision that is negatively impacting you. That's how we got here. That is how we got here. And these people don't give a damn about those of us who will be struggling. And people are like, well, if you have a job, no, minimum wage federally is still $7.25. States didn't have the option to raise their minimum wage, but what states have not done so? The southern states. And cost of living has increased. People cannot pay for rent. People cannot pay for childcare and food, all on low wages. That just doesn't make logical sense. So this is a time that I will say, help your neighbor. I will be helping those who I can help. I'll be, doing my part, and we'll get through this. But this goes to show that elections have consequences. They really do. And you need to realize who do and do not give a damn about you.
So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month.
About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're gonna do without that food stamp money, because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money,
I'm so tired of seeing people say like, oh, well, maybe if you had a job, you could get your groceries, or, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have to depend on SNAP. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my 2 kids. So yes, I depend on stamps. and I have a full-time job. So please know that people out here depend on stamps is not because we out here just mooching off the government. It's because we literally need that to provide for our family.
I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating. Plus myself, I eat about 1 meal a day, but still.
Taxes are high because of all of the freeloaders in America. What? Walmart and McDonald's. They're some of the top employers of people receiving benefits from federal programs like Medicaid and food stamps. But how are they freeloading if they're working at McDonald's and Walmart? I'm not talking about the workers. I'm talking about McDonald's and Walmart. Those are for people without enough work. No, 12 million adult wage earners are on Medicaid and 9 million adult wage earners are on food stamps. But they work part-time. No. 70% of those are full-time. So McDonald's and Walmart have full-time workers that depend on public programs to live. In just the 9 states that they surveyed, Walmart had 14,500 workers on food stamps and McDonald's had 8,780. So the government's subsidizing McDonald's and Walmart? Yeah, what's Walmart's profits? $12 billion last year alone, and many Americans pay a higher tax rate than them. Really? Oh yeah, the tax breaks were permanent, but only for the corporations. Wait, what? They did that because they're looking out for the little guy.
Trump to shut down the bridge card, as they say, putting a pause on it. But starting November 1st, it will not be no more food stamps, y'all. And we shouldn't be surprised because he been talking about this a lot. Also, he been trying to shut down any type of government assistance, just like the Section 8. He been trying to get niggas out quick. So y'all, I know it's about to be rough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be crazy. And I seen a couple people, they talking about they going to stores, don't stop them, and they walking out with you, not paying for nothing. They babies ain't starving. Now hear me out, y'all. I was gonna get on here and I was gonna be like, what day is gonna be that y'all gonna decide to go in the stores? You feel me? Cause like I can save the rest of my little couple dollars. Cause if I can get it for free, so if we gonna be just taking shit, I was gonna be like, let me know the day, the time, and I can be available. But I had to think, y'all. I had to think. Hear me out. Don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Because it's a setup. This the plan. Got the guards out in the streets. They got the troops in the streets. They got ICE in the streets. They got police waiting for this. I'm telling you, this the plan, y'all. I had to think. I was on. And when y'all do get caught stealing, y'all will get harmed. Y'all will get locked up. What the outcome you thought it was gonna be. What y'all need to do is just go get a part-time job. We had like almost a month. They been saying this for a month. Niggas thought this was a little lollygag game. Niggas try to wait till last minute procrastinating. And then look, you gotta steal. This is the time that you really need to get an online job. If you got kids, that way you still can stay at home. You just might have to control their little ass. Get an online little cool little gig. I don't know what you gotta do. But get something online though. We thought we was adults before. Now it's time for us to start being adults. So y'all, I'm begging y'all, please don't go out here and act a fool and put your kids in danger, put your life in danger. Stop. Cut the nails off, cut the wig off. Might have to cut the Betty's website off. Might have to cut Nephflix off. Hulu. Gotta cut something off. Some shit gotta go. Fellas, you might have to stop betting. Stop losing your money on these dream bets. You freaky niggas might have to give up the OnlyFans. I don't know about the NBA League Pass.
So what's going on with food stamps about to run out? 42 million Americans who depend on the SNAP or Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program to eat, to survive. That's going to run out on Saturday? Yep. And let me explain. So right now, if you go to the U.S. Department of Agriculture website, it says, quote, Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as SNAP. Bottom line, the well has run dry. We're approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for health care for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance. That's quite a stark description of the reason that the government is shut down. Democrats say they're doing it to restore Medicaid benefits and also to continue the extension of the Obamacare subsidy so people can afford health insurance, which expires at the end of the year. But be that as it may, Democrats say, wait a second, there is a contingency fund for food stamps. And in fact, you can go back on the Wayback Machine and find a memo from all the way back just on September 30th of this year, so not really that long ago, that says congressional intent is evident that SNAP's operation should continue since the program has been provided with multi-year contingency funds to ensure that the state can continue operations during a federal government shutdown. Multi-year contingency funds available to fund participant benefits in the event that a lapse occurs in the middle of the fiscal year. So that's a Trump Agricultural Department memo from September 30th, but it's no longer on their website. And I asked USDA, what's up with that? And they said, oh, that's an iterative document. I said, what does that mean? They said it's constantly changing. They no longer think it's true. They think that their current legal analysis, which they acknowledge many disagree with, is that these funds are only for the event of a natural disaster, even if this September 30th document says it's for a government shutdown or can be used for a government shutdown. Democrats say that the Trump administration is changing their interpretation of the law so they can use the hunger of 42 million Americans to pressure Democrats to vote to reopen the government. The Trump administration says, no, that's not true. This is just their legal interpretation, and Democrats should vote to reopen the government because these are vital nutrition programs. In any case, what's going to happen is, unless something changes, 42 million Americans are at risk of going hungry.
Welcome back. I must say credits to the creators, as I'm going to actually tag their TikTok handles in the description of this video. But anyways, let me get into it. I know Black Americans are already used to times like this, and I want to believe that you are used to times like this. I want to also believe that it is just a stepping stone to your greatness, right? See, let me tell you, it depends on what you want to make of this time. I mean, times like this, what do you want to make of it? It's time to be together with family. It doesn't matter whether you have, some might not have. It's time to actually, you know how it's been done during the slavery times, back in the days, basically, when you were with your grandparents and all of that. It's time to start managing portions and all of that. I don't expect you to cry, right? I want you to see this as a phase that is going to end soon. Remember what the Bible says, and it came to pass. These two shall pass. And let me tell you, it's not going to pass with your life. You're going to see to the end of this, and you're going to come out victorious, right? I believe you all are strong, and you all are ready about this. Anyways, let me see how ready you are about this in the comments, please. State what your strategies are. How do you navigate this? If you're the type that's been taking snaps, what do you think you're going to do about this time around? I'll say, go back to work. Please, if you're not disabled, go back to work, do businesses, get a skill, look for things that are needed very close to you that you can sell. Meet needs is going to help you so much at this time. And let's see who is going to cry more. I know you guys won't be crying. Don't tell me you're going to cry. But anyways, let's hear how you intend to actually navigate these times in the comments so people can learn, right? Yeah. These two shall pass, and it shall come to pass. It's not going to be like this forever. It's just for a little while. So let's see to it that we're prayerful at this time, that we're getting our families together. I don't want us to be seen in the malls, taking things from the supermarket and all of that. That is not what we're known for, right? Black Americans are not thieves. This time around, they are going to make the most out of it and they are going to be victorious. That is what I know. So let me see your thoughts in the comments. I'll be back. Bye.